Wouldn't part of you like if like we still had that oldie time where like everything came in glass? Now it's to the point where like when something comes in glass, I'm like, oh, this is
I'm glad you brought up glass because
product.
recycling's fake too. We don't recycle. That recycle symbol isn't even the recycle symbol. They made a new symbol that looks like the real one and they stuck it on everything. We recycle like 5 to 10% of things in at best.
I thought glass was better. Like, I think you're right with plastic. Are you wrong about glass though?
I think glass, they reuse a lot of glass. I know that. I don't know how much glass gets recycled. I think aluminum is the thing that where it's cost effective to recycle it. But I think that like everything else, they just throw in a fucking landfill.
I throw food and stuff in my recycling bin all the time because I noticed one day when like, and it was like probably a year ago that a new company took over our waste management in my neighborhood. And like, I'd roll out my trash and I'd roll out my recycling. The guy drove by and calmly dumped both into the same area of the truck. And it's like, oh, okay. So this is just extra trash space for me. And so now I do that.
It's pretend. We pretend we recycle.
Yeah.
I Googled it and it looks like I'm wrong and Kyle's right. The top result says it costs $70 to $90 to process a ton of glass. And then it sells for about $10 a ton.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we're really not recycling anything then.
I think aluminum, but most of the time it all goes in the garbage. Most of it's just getting thrown in a landfill.
One nice thing about glass is I am not a scientist, but I think it's pretty inert. Like it doesn't get into your water stream and
it's sand. It's just melted sand with some additives.
Do you see that little study that's been floating around on social media where it was like they tested like it was only like 23, 25 guys or something, and all of them had microplastics in their testicles?
Big whoop.
Like all of them.
Who cares?
Yeah.
Well, we don't know how it impacts us fully yet, but it's just another like
hadn't bothered me a bit.
Asbestos or lead poisoning. Or
is it bothering you, Woody? Your balls fine?
I really like my balls. I'm pretty
all good.
Fan.
All good. Yeah. Hanging low, baby. Swing low, sweet chariots. Let's go. The plastic in your balls, please. My balls can handle plastic. Let me know when there's lead in every stronger? Ball. It makes us more durable. Sure. I mean, great things are made of plastic. I like I said, I'm a big fan of the petroleum industry. If there's a little plastic in me, I appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't
makes
care
me last longer.
Microplastics to me are the new fucking like
lead or asbestos or all those other hokum made up nonsense.
No, okay, like lead and asbestos are a problem. Lead to a lesser extent. I'm not convinced.
Oh, is this like your actual belief?
Yeah.
You don't think it's a problem having microplastics in your
anyone who says not to eat lead just doesn't know how sweet it is.
Yeah. I think a little lead is no big fucking deal, but I think you need to be
clearly.
I really don't think it's a big deal to get a little lead. But like spending your whole like, especially childhood, eating lead fucking paint chips or being exposed to lead contaminated water because of your pipes.
Yeah.
I mean, that'll definitely retard you.
Well, what about those generations of kids who grew up eating food almost entirely from packaging made of lead? Have you considered, or wait, that's plastic, right?
Yeah, that's us. We're fine.
Yeah. You think it's all good? You think we're banging on all cylinders?
You know what? The best part about plastic is it's inert.
Cylinders.
It's inert. It doesn't do anything. I saw this fucking floozy on that podcast.
Is not inert. It reacts with all kinds of things, and there's like a million kinds of plastic.
I feel like Taylor's desire to bang on all cylinders is greedy, right? you can have a misfire now and then. Knock it off.
But there is a way to fix it. Blue Chew. And we'll come back to this. Yeah,
castration.
Fix your microplastic.
Get rid of that testicular plastic. Get that out of your body.
Yeah. So you don't think plastic in people's nuts or in their hearts or veins or skin or whatever is a big deal?
I mean, when you say it like that, it's like, oh no, but I don't know what that causes to happen. Like I don't know what the downside is. I'm not a doctor. I would say I wouldn't want anything in my body, but then, you got those little mites right on your eyelid and your eyelashes living right there. Those little arachnids moving around right next to your eyeball.
They're not bothering anybody.
Because you can't see them, just like the microplastics.
Not Kyle. Taylor, what would you want your water bottle to be made of?
Probably glass. Yeah, glass or...
Has durability problems.
Yeah, that's true. I have a metal one.
You wrap it in leather.
I like. but then you wrap have a skin.
They make those. Like you can get those. You get glass wrapped in leather to protect it.
I think that metal is. I mean, the only like big water bottle I have is made of metal, and it's the same one you have, Kyle. Actually, I don't remember the brand. It was like the off-brand of
the tumbler.
Whatever that. There's like some brand. Stanley.
Yeah, it's like spend $60 on a Stanley or $12 on this thing. Who am I trying to impress? I'm not in high school.
I'm not in middle school.
They all hold water.
Microplastics in water bottles create estrogen, which I think is the scientific term for cooties.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, it'll make you gay.
I'm not I think there's lots of things cause this. I'm just not worried about any of that. I just don't care. If I get cancer, I get cancer. But what are you gonna do? Live your life?
Cancer before it's a bitch.
Multiple times.
Nothing.
I mean, I'm just not.
Dude, you guys can't bully, basal cell carcinoma, and because fucking Pancreatic's gonna hear about it, and he's gonna be like, these guys think I'm a bitch. Knuckle crack.
Pancreatic can suck my dick. It's just gonna be in the tomb with all the other cancers I've beaten.
When you read about me evil Knieveling my bike off a ramp here in Atlanta, you'll know the pancreatic cancer was coming. I'm gonna do something cool.
Yeah, you'd have to do.
No, I really don't care about the microplastics though. They that's the new I don't know, call to arms buzzword. It feels like for the health conscious. I saw some college educated floozy who should be at home with her family on a podcast the other day. She's like, and she was making the argument that birth rates were down because of testicular microplastics. And the guy was like, you don't think it's birth control? You don't think it's birth control and abortions?
Well, and economics is my thing that I would have picked.
Yeah,
well, we're talking about since the 70s.
A mixture of those. Yeah. Probably birth control is the strongest one.
Personal theory. Taylor, why do you think birth rates are going down?
I think you're both right, but I think you can't undercut birth control being a huge part of it. Like
it's the number one factor,
and having doctors recommend that young girls get and stay on it.
I feel like birth control is tied into my economics and people deciding when to have kids. Birth control is part of that.
Oh well then.
I think people are like, hey, I don't want to have kids until I can afford a house. That's what I'm trying to say, but I haven't put it that eloquently. I don't want kids until I'm not living paycheck to paycheck. And that just delays people into their 30s nowadays.
If you take birth control and abortion away, like it was in 71, then the birth rate skyrockets.
Then we get the crime rates of the 80s, which is dope.
You literally do. You're exactly right. Then you get new Reagan, Donald Trump in there to pump the crack into the neighborhoods, and we lock them all up, and we're all good again. It's cyclical.
That's the cycle of life. Yeah, that's nature.
If Elton John could do that more eloquently, like it's a circle of life,
the circle of crime,
circle of crime.
Oh, man. Elton John, I think he's my favorite gay. I love Elton John.
All right, he's all right for now. He is my favorite gay.
Every time I'm playing
Ian
Age of Empires, I listen to
Ian McKellen.
Okay, I don't know if Ian beats out Elton John.
Gandalf can't be. Not only is he Gandalf, he's also Magneto, which
he's number two.
About.
He's second top G.
He was a great Magneto.
Okay, I don't really care about Magneto.
I don't think either of these people can hold a candle to my gay, because my gay has an OnlyFans, Finster.
Is he gay?
Well, it depends. It's
complicated.
It's complicated. I don't know. We'll have to ask Finster next time.
Well, then he has to be in a different category, because obviously I know him and I like him.
Yeah,
he's my favorite.
I mean, he sucks dick.
Well, wait,
is that gay?
Switch is cool.
Yes.
Shit.
Well, is that
gay? Sucking dick is always gay. I mean, sometimes girls do it.
Oh, is that what he meant when he said girlfriend?
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Yeah. Well, that is gay.
His girlfriend does have a penis, and
his girlfriend has a penis, and so does
he.
And I don't know what his pronouns are, because all the ones I used all night long were wrong.
He literally doesn't either.
I don't think he gives a shit.
He literally doesn't know either, and he doesn't really care. And I love that, because he is like a figurehead in the trans fucking egg femboy whatever the fuck community. Like, he's the poster girl boy online for that group of people.
I know it's a bit, but I loved it. he refused to tell me his pronouns on the show, and then just got offended at whichever ones I used. It doesn't matter what I said.
Yeah, he doesn't fucking care. He didn't care what you call him.
I don't think he cares either.
But
if we're talking about the full-on gays like Elton John and Ian McKellen, honestly,
George Michael,
you threw a wrench in my inner workings here, bringing up Ian McKellen. Gandalf is so flagrantly straight that I sometimes forget.
Aragorn today is the same age Ian McKellen was during the trilogy.
Don't say things like that.
How's that feel? I got an old. One thing that's bad. I got an old picture of Aragorn.
I didn't so straight about Gandalf.
Pay any attention to women in that whole show.
There weren't really about Frodo. Pay attention to.
Gandalf is a pedo.
He was like, Frodo, destroy the ring so I can get back to fucking elf bitches.
He was into male hobbits.
I love a good dwarf muff.
You think Gimli was definitely straight?
You have to delve deep to find the slit.
If your girlfriend has a beard, how straight are you?
Like a vein of mithril.
Dude, yeah, Gimli was straight. Legolas was so gay that he wasn't covering for anything. He was obviously straight.
He had a big case of the not gays. So
that's what I'm saying.
So the not gays is when you have your movie star, your character and your thing immediately be like, it's sure good. Use some pussy right now, big old woman pussy, because I like those. It's like out of nowhere they have some.
Legolas did that?
Well, not.
It was implied
that, but I remember in the second movie, I felt like he was too close with that made up. Not the second movie, the Hobbit. In the Hobbit movie, with that girl they made up so that she could have a love thing with one of those ugly dwarfs. They're fine. By the way,
they have enough help as it is.
PKA lube. I mean, we kind of have done a lube. It's just after you need it.
Is that what people want? My face on a lube container next to them?
Yes, it is. It's what I want.
Taylor's old-timey sexual fantabulous lubrication device.
You fought for the cum splatters on the bottle of the lock and load. What would you fight for on the lube?
I would fight to make sure that, unlike this bottle, that our presence was almost entirely minimized. The official lube of we'd have to just partner with Wet Platinum or someone like that.
No, I want something like Crisco based.
We can do better than Wet Platinum.
Crisco?
Yeah, I want like a pomade type substance that you get for like serious like a fisting cream.
No, the internet keeps telling me seed oils are poison now.
Seed oils are poison.
That's what they're saying online. They're saying
who's saying it?
So where do your oils come from?
Weird people.
You use motor oil?
My oils, I guess if I'm cooking, I usually use like olive oil. That's kind of seems like that works for most everything.
That's a low smoke point. You can't use that.
Okay, well, I have beef tallow too. My grandma got me beef tallow.
That'll do the trick and get that smoking.
And you know what? I think it was you who
give her a
told me
yeast infection.
They used to do the McDonald's fries in beef tallow.
Yep.
And they were better that way. I haven't seen much of the store because I'm still using the one that my grandma got me, the beef tallow, like cooking oil or spread, whatever. I'm gonna stick with it. It is better. It tastes nice.
It depends what you're cooking. Obviously, making a steak in beef tallow makes a ton of sense. I've done French fries in duck fat before. That really good.
I made eggs.
Really good.
It was better with making eggs in it. I liked that.
Yeah. They used to use beef tallow at McDonald's, and the cholesterol was outrageous in the French fries. And so now they use like a beef tallow flavoring agent. They add God knows what it's made of.
It was because of their concern with the public's cholesterol, it wasn't some overhead thing.
I think it was. There was it was the 90s when everybody was trying to like be super thin, and salads were becoming a thing on menus, or trying to be. And it was a bad look that their French fries had. It was a shocking amount of cholesterol, I think. And it's fries. It's not meat.
I don't think cholesterol, that's not what makes you fat, though.
No, but it's bad for your heart. It's like it's unhealthy.
I think that's up for debate.
I don't think it is. I think they that's strong science on the matter.
I don't know.
The clinical
Have you
data.
read the data, the studies?
Pull up that doctor with the monkey boy. Let's ask him about this.
Let's
He's probably
Dr. Petey Penguin or whatever the fuck his name was.
that was the saddest part of that photo, right? That he had a friend. They were like, "Give him a friend." He looks sad, and they gave him a chimpanzee. He had that little monkey in his arms. They were like,
Yeah, that's like.
Do you know who you're talking to? This is like Taylor's dream.
Yeah,
It's like telling me,
to
like,
live as
isn't
the
it
monkey
sad?
boy.
All they did is feed him trail mix. I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, what a fucking tragedy. Oh, was his best friend a chimpanzee? Taylor's like, fuck
Yeah.
yes.
Okay, so he was Mowgli. Great.
Shout
What a
out
hard
to
life.
shout out to Kimmy and Kirby, the chimps from my second birthday party. They are long dead, undoubtedly.
No, this
Actually,
was a long
not.
time.
Well, they were old.
Michael
they're older.
Jackson's chimp is still alive.
They're older. They were older than me at the time. So like those chimps are probably in their late 30s now.
They lived in 40s,
Infinitely,
right?
I think.
Okay. All right. Well then, I hope Kimmy and
Remember
Kirby.
that-
I hope you're doing all right.
And
Actually, I hope Kirby's doing all right. I hope Kimmy was killed in some sort of accident soon after the party.
Was Kimmy a
There's-
bitch?
Kimmy was a cunt. She
Amber
pushed me
stories
off of
always-
my Kawasaki. I've told this story before. I had just gotten a brand new Kawasaki and I was wanting to ride it around, and she shoved me right
Kawasaki
off of
what?
it. It was a
Dirt bike?
tiny little 4-wheeler thing like that, like a little child would sit on, and you press the button and it has a little battery and it goes. "Ee."
It was like the little. It was the little battery powered RC cars that everybody
Yeah.
had. Like girls would get the Barbie car. I had the Jeep. The Jeep was
Ah.
big in the early 90s.
Dude.
Kirby was astute. He was smart. Now that's a chimp. If you told me he knew how to read, I might buy it. Kimmy, there's no way you could teach that bitch to read anything.
You
I
just mad at her because she made you the bitch.
Yeah. Yeah, you cracked the case on that one.